Hey everyone, Kunik here, back with a few RPG horror stories for you today. I've got a few really good stories lined up, so let's roll for initiative and begin the stories. Story number 1. A player throws a fit because he can't metagame. I was running a Pathfinder one-shot not too long ago, which turned into a two-shot. We had 4 players and myself, and the 4th player was a bit metagamey, in that he'd exploit monster stat blocks, which he pretty much memorized. I was running the players through a desert temple, where a strange group of nomadic raider types had a base of operations. The party were mowing through the cultists and bandits. I gave them loot and threw puzzles at them, but my biggest trick was still in my sleeve. I had homebrewed an old-school monster for this specific occasion to fit into Pathfinder. The party was resting up in a large open shrine-like area, where they suddenly heard a rumbling. As they look around, I describe as a large monster came into view. It had some elephantine facial features, a large trunk, it was bipedal, it had horns, as well as large crab claws and tentacles on its stomach. This was a Malfera, a fiend from the realms of nightmares. The metagamer looked kinda confused at first, and then asked what the hell I was talking about. I explained that I homebrewed a monster to fit Pathfinder. He looked like I had just insulted his mother and taken a crap on her grave, and proceeded to yell because this was not an official monster, and I was breaking his immersion. Then another player called out to him saying how his immersion was literally just him knowing every monster in the book. He got really mad, threw a bag of Lays at me, oh no, air, and stormed out. Haven't seen him since then. Yeah, I picked this story just because the last one we read was also about a metagaming player. That one, however, was unintentionally metagaming because it was her very first campaign. This guy, however, was doing it intentionally to get a one-up on the enemies they were going to fight. He didn't want any surprises in combat and got mad when the DM threw that potential scenario at him. In my honest opinion, good riddance. If you're going to quit just because the DM throws a homebrew enemy at you, you really should not be playing these type of games. Just my opinion though. Alright, onwards to story number 2. They tried to make my kid-friendly character a child abuser, joined a Discord group, and was brought into a campaign with a handful of other players. I rolled up a bard whose backstory was that he traveled with adventurers and used their adventures as a basis for a series of kids' books he was writing. I gave my backstory to the DM, and it was approved. Nothing in Session 0 led me to believe there was any issue with my character after explaining it to the group. Session 1 comes, and while the party is gathering supplies, I head to the library in the town, and the DM describes it as rather run down and light on books. I offer the librarian some copies of my books for free, so the kids in the town have something for their parents to read to them. Librarian is thankful, and I leave. As I get back to the party, my character explains what I'd been up to, and a few members of the party make a remark about how I'm setting up bait with the books to lure children to me so I can do the bard thing, implying I wanted to seduce them. I explain, out of character, that my character would never want to do that, and that I find jokes like that disgusting. I ask them to please refrain from accusing my character of child abuse again and try to move past it. I get the cold shoulder from the group for the remainder of the session. At this point, I realize I'm probably going to have to just leave and find another group, but then the DM decides to really cement that idea for me. We return from our brief encounter out of town a few hours later, and the DM describes parents with their children pulling their kids away and going into nearby buildings as they see me. Then the guard comes to question me under suspicion that I have inappropriate intentions toward the children of the town. DM had decided to run with the party's terrible joke and made me out to be a sexual predator in the eyes of the law. The party all bust out laughing. I just say, thanks for the game, and then leave the server and block the players and DM. Sucks too, because I was really looking forward to taking the adventure we went on and actually trying to do what my character would do and write up a children's story about it. There's always next time though, right? Okay, despite the fact that that is a very taboo topic unto itself, If a player out of character expressly requests you do not bring up a subject, let alone the subject that actually was brought up, please respect their wishes. You don't know why they're requesting it, could be for a personal reason or just out of moral disgust. But regardless, to be a good human being, you should respect their wishes. And honestly, I applaud the OP for leaving the party the moment he did, because they very clearly were not respecting his wishes. Yeah, there's really nothing much else to say here. This one kind of angers me. Anyhow, with that all said, as always, the source of the stories are in the description below, and if you liked the video and you want to see more videos just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon in order to be notified of my future videos. YouTube Analytics is actually showing me that I only have a very small fraction of you subscribed to my channel, so it would mean the world to me if you were to subscribe. Anyhow, while you wait for my future videos, here are a few related videos from my channel that you can watch in the meantime.